Hi there, Healing. I'm sorry, there's rain. I'm on Healing Ann. Hi, Healing Ann. There's rain on my phone, so I couldn't see. I couldn't see your name, but hello. Thank you for saying hello and welcome into the chat. I hope you're doing well on this Tuesday evening. I hope you're doing well. I hope each and every one of you guys who have come through here so far, whether you said hello or not, I hope that you guys are doing well. And thank you for stopping by for a few minutes or a few seconds or however long it was that you stopped by. How are you, Healing Ann? That's a nice name. It's raining, so I'll probably only walk for about 30 minutes because I just got done exercising. So we're out here cooling down and it feels nice, but it's about, I don't know, I think it's gonna rain harder than it did the other day. A lot of people know that I like to walk in the rain. I don't mind walking in the rain, but it kind of looks like it may storm. TJ Films, hello. Edging to this. I don't know what that means, but as long as it's not negative, welcome into the chat. And how are you? I hope you're doing well. It's getting dark a little bit earlier than usual. It's cloudy here, so that makes it look darker, but it really is getting darker earlier. To do the hills, do the hills, do the hills. Don't think about it, just do it. Before you know it, you'll be up the hill. I hope you guys have had a great start to your week. Hey, Annie. Welcome into the chat, Annie. How you doing? Annie says, hello, chat. Happy Tuesday, y'all. You know, almost hump day. Almost hump day. TJ says, hey, Annie. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for that, TJ. I appreciate it. Yeah, so far, okay, it's Tuesday. What have you guys done thus far this week? At work, at home? How's your week going so far, basically? Do you have any weekly goals that you set for the week? If so, are you reaching those goals? Are you off to a good start? What things do you have going on? And what things do you have planned for the rest of the summer? What things do you have planned for the rest of the summer? I've asked that the last live because it's the middle of summer. So kids will be back in school before you know it. Annie says, happy Tuesday, everyone doing well. TJ, what about you? Kids will be back in school before we know it. I'm talking about all levels. Grade school, college. Summer flies so fast. The next thing you know, you'll be moving. For those who have college students, you'll be moving them back. And for you college students, you'll be moving back to campus to get back into those classes. So make sure that you do well. Make sure that you have as much fun this summer as you can. And look, face it, I know the college kids are going to have fun, period. Most of them. And families, try, if you can, to do something fun with the smaller kids. I know times are tough. Financially, things are hard. So if it'll be a bit of a struggle financially to do things with your children, try to find things close to home to do. Try to find things close to home to do that you don't normally do. Going on a cruise at the end of the month, I definitely need a break. Enjoy, Annie. Enjoy. That sounds nice. Have you been on a cruise before? Or will this be the first time? Because I have had so many opportunities to go on cruises, but guess what? I don't like to go. I don't like to go, especially after the big fiasco that happened a few years ago. This your first time? Enjoy and be safe, Annie. Have fun. TJ got sent home from work. They are forcing me to have a mental health break. Paid leave though. Well, TJ, I don't know what's going on, but if it's paid, even if you don't feel like you need the time off, since they're forcing it, and it's paid, go ahead and try to enjoy the time off. Try to do some things that are good for your mental health. Even if you don't feel like you need that time off or that anything is going on that you need to address, take the time off that they're making you take and just kind of do a self-evaluation. And like Annie says, she hopes everything goes well with you. I do too. I definitely do. Because let me tell you, mental health is a topic that still, even though more people talk about it in this day and age, this day and time, there are still so many people who don't truly understand. You're welcome. There are so many people who don't fully or completely understand, mental health as it relates to the issues that people have. So if you need to see someone, see someone. Don't be ashamed of it. If you choose not to see someone, still take this time to do some self-evaluations and then, do some self-critiques. See if there are some things that you need to do to help yourself to help yourself to perform better. Maybe at work, maybe they saw some issues at work. See, but first and foremost, just try and do some self-evaluating and see if I talked about this yesterday and I talk about it a lot. A lot of times we have to be willing to acknowledge our flaws, and we're all human. We all have flaws. So take this time, even if you don't see a professional, to just do some self-evaluating. And hopefully, if you identify anything that you need to make better, start working on that. And if you need help working on it, seek the help that you need. And go to your job, especially if your job is forcing you to take the time off. Annie says, very true, a mental check, yes, it can be beneficial sometimes. It definitely can, and even sometimes if someone else has to bring it to your attention, you may still feel like, nah, they don't know what they're talking about, or that you're fine. And you probably overall, generally speaking, you probably are mentally fine. But we as human beings, whether you be male, female, black, white, Asian, whatever, sometimes we have struggles and we have issues. And sometimes we don't really think that those issues or those struggles are affecting our mental state so much, but they can be. They can be. They want to set you up with someone to talk with them before you go back. Look, accept that. Accept it. Because you're getting paid to be off. Even though you may not want to be off, you're getting paid to be off. And if they're willing to set that up, then that means that they're going to pay for it, right? Annie says, TJ, did something happen at work? I hope you don't mind me asking. Yes, I'm curious to know that too, TJ. Did something happen at work? Did something specific happen at work? You don't really have to say what it was, but you just let us know if something specific happened at work. Or have they just noticed a change in you? Have they just noticed a change in you? Maybe not so much that something big happened, but maybe your work performance, maybe your demeanor, maybe your mood, your personality. And if it's a result of that, I will say that it sounds like you work for a good company. Sounds like you work for a good company. Coworkers came forward and said you've been acting out of character over the past few months. Okay, I got you. So there again, nothing drastic happened, but your coworkers have noticed a change. So if you have an employer who is willing to give you paid time off to help to take a mental break, and they're willing to set you up with someone to talk to, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. There's nothing to be ashamed of, okay, because for one, they brought it to the forefront, right? They spoke up. Now your employer is doing something to try and help you. So don't be ashamed. Be happy. Be happy that you have that access to that, because there are a lot of people who have mental health issues who they don't have access to help. They don't have support. They don't have access to help. And sometimes the bottom line is they just can't afford the help. They can't afford the help. Because most states, I guess most cities and counties have resources for things such as mental health. You know, they have mental health organizations, mental health awareness organizations. But when those things are kind of like state funded or locally funded, sometimes you get put on a waiting list. Sometimes, I won't speak to the character of the professionals that they provide for people, but sometimes you get people who are kind of like in training or who are new. And, you know, those kinds of things kind of contribute to people being reluctant to seek, you know, to get the help. And sometimes you can have a professional who does it all the time. But if it's state funded or funded by your city, they're just overworked. And they seem to kind of rush the clients. So I'm hoping that whoever they set you up with has the time and the experience to help you get back on track. Annie says, I am happy they care enough about you to offer that. Yes, Annie, exactly. Because a lot of times, you know, sometimes jobs just don't offer it. Not to say that those in charge wouldn't like to offer it, but maybe they can't afford to offer it. A lot of times jobs can only afford to pay, you know, to pay the salaries, you know, to sign the paychecks and to keep the lights on. So if you have a job that does have that, the ability to afford you that help, that's good. That's good. And please take advantage of it. Hey, Tamika. Tamika says, hey, Lunch Pride in chat. So that's how TJ's week is going. And we're hoping for a great outcome, okay? We're hoping for a great outcome. And sometimes, you know, it takes a while. And sometimes we have to take baby steps or small steps, you know, before you get the outcome that you want. But TJ, we are rooting for you. We're rooting for you. How are you doing, Tamika? Happy Tuesday to you. What are you guys eating? Y'all know that's always one of the questions of the day. What's for lunch? What's for dinner rather now? TJ says, thanks for the kind words. I don't want to take up all the time. Oh, you're good, TJ. You're good. That topic, that subject, hey, that's the name of the live, Tuesday Topics. Okay? And that topic is one that could be discussed every day. Honestly, that should be discussed every day. But I understand what you're saying. You know, sometimes when you get in the chat, you don't want all the attention to be on you. I truly understand that. So thank you for being willing to share that with us. So, have you guys, today is tacos. Do you guys do Taco Tuesday? You know, you can do tacos, you can do a taco burger, you can do taco salad, But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people say that they did that, like when Tuesday rolls around, they do tacos or some type of Mexican dish, and then they get worn out. They get worn out. So it is a good thing to have like a different food. Like if you have on your board in your kitchen, have something that you'll have on Monday, something that you'll have on Tuesday, Wednesday, wing Wednesday, Thursday. Find you something to have for Thursday, Friday, fish Friday, catfish Friday. It's good to have like those days kind of labeled like that. You don't have to stick to it, but they are a good fallback reference. So when you get worn out and tired of the Taco Tuesday, you know, you can have whatever. Just try and make sure that whatever you guys have is healthy, it's nutritious, and it doesn't have to be healthy every single day, right? We can splurge, we can pig out sometimes. Moderation is key though. Moderation is key. Watch what you're taking in, okay? Watch what you're taking in regularly on a daily basis, you know? And then when you find yourself starting to take in too many sweets, too much fat, too many processed foods, too many colored foods, certain colors even. Cut back. Be mindful. Spaghetti and rice for you? That sounds good. Annie says, eating nothing at the moment on the train going home. Okay. So you're headed home. Be safe, Annie. Be safe. I hope you had a good day today. Tamika says, happy Tuesday. Some pasta noodles and grilled fish, mixed veggies with a bottle of water. Now that sounds good. And some people they like when it comes to pasta and rice, you know, they're like, that's not healthy. Well, yeah, the carbs do. Once your body is done using whatever it uses for energy, it breaks down and the leftover becomes fat. But it's okay sometimes. It's okay in moderation. It's okay if you eat pasta a couple of times a week. Okay? Some people say, you know what, I'll get the wheat pasta. So it keeps more of the minerals. But some people, they say pasta is pasta. Like brown rice and rice. They say rice is rice. Well, when it's brown, it does keep a little bit more of the minerals. So a little bit more of the nutrients. But just remember, everything in moderation. Even some healthy meals, even some healthy items have to be in moderation. Because it's so funny that it's just kind of like medicine, right? Medicine, a lot of people don't like to take medicine, but sometimes people have to take medicine. So the medicine is designed to do one thing, which will help you, and it's a good thing, but then comes side effects or the potential for side effects. Food is kind of like the same way. Food is medicine as well. Food is medicine for your body. You just have to try and pick the best ones. Same way with man-made medicines. A lot of man-made medicines have natural herbs in them. You know, some may not, but you just have to try to pick the best thing to do for what your body needs at that time. And I say, generally speaking, over time, all the time. When it comes to food, you need to try to eat what's good, what's right. But don't beat yourself up about splurging, okay? Don't beat yourself up about splurging sometimes. Tamika says, I think noodles were whole grain or whole wheat. Right, okay. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, some people can't eat wheat. And then they'll tell those people to just eat regular noodles. Because they can't eat, maybe because of gluten or, you know, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, just different things like that. And see, sometimes the healthy things, sometimes those people can't eat certain veggies and fruits and veggies. So it's like they have to be careful with what they eat. And those are healthy. Fruits and veggies are healthy. But they still have to be careful, in particular, about what they eat. And like we said, get the brown, when you get the pasta, pick the brown, the wheat. But some people can't do wheat. So they have to do regular. So you just have to go by what makes you feel good and what's good for you, and then learn how to eat it and how much to eat of it. Hey, Hey, James Money 615. Welcome into the chat. How you doing? Happy Tuesday to you. I hope you've been having a good week, James Money. Again, y'all, it's getting darker earlier. It's cloudy here. So it is like first, it's not quite first dark. It is cloudy, but I have been noticing the past few days that it seems like it's getting darker a little bit earlier. But guess what? We don't fall back until November. Tamika says, hey, James, we don't fall back until I think it's the first Saturday in November. So, of course, nature will take its course. It'll start to get darker earlier anyway. But by the time we set the clocks, fall back. Some people, I don't know, what do you guys prefer? I think I prefer it to, I like it, no, a long time ago, well, not that long ago, they set it used to be like October, April and October. You kind of got half and half. I liked it that way. And the reason I liked it that way is because it does adjust on its own. And then you spring forward or fall back, whichever time of the year it is. But now, it's like pretty much the way they put it now, March and November, you got like 8 months of long days. Long days. And only 4 months of long nights. But even though I like it when the days are longer, well, when it's not so much that the days are longer, but when there's more daylight for a longer period of the day, I love it when the nights are longer too. I just feel like after work, I want to get home. Like I may change up my exercise pattern when the time changes, but I be wanting to get home when it gets dark, like 5:30, 6:30. I want to get home, have dinner, and just sit back and chill. Tamika says, hey, James. She said, they tasted good to me. I'm trying to eat healthier. Yeah, I like the way they taste. But it's just so funny how, like, a lot of people, like you said, Tamika, they're trying to eat healthier. And then you find out that certain things that are healthy, it's like you can't tolerate them. So when I, like, in my studies and then just seeing people, it's like you suggest wheat, but again, a lot of people can't tolerate wheat. And that ain't good because it is the healthier option between white, the wheat and white. It's the healthier option. They're both carbs, but at least the brown offers some minerals. It offers minerals. And sometimes people will be having like a tummy ache or something, and they don't really know what's causing it. Or they'll start to, some people do. They may not know at first, but then they start to put one and one together and get two. Kind of like some people say they love coffee, right? But there are certain brands of coffee that they can't drink because it sends them straight to the restroom. like straight to the restroom. And then the bad thing about that sometimes is it's the things that you've always enjoyed, like say orange juice. Orange juice is healthy. Breakfast drink. Well, you can drink it whenever, but it's a popular breakfast drink. It's healthy. Most of it has vitamin C, calcium, added and all that stuff. But then it's acidic though. So it breaks some people out. And it's like, geez, it's acidic, so it breaks some people out. and they're kind of basically allergic to it. Um, some people, if it doesn't break them out, maybe they can't tolerate it on the stomach like they used to. And that's just an example. There are a lot of things like that. So the best that we can do, like Tamika said, is to try to do healthier. Try to be healthier. Pick the healthier options, and hopefully they agree with you. Pick the healthier options, and hopefully they will agree with you. And for the times that they, might not, pick another healthy option. So bottom line is just try to pick the healthiest option available to you. And hopefully, how sometimes the healthier options are more expensive. That's discouraging. It's just like when people try to eat organic. Usually the organic fruits and veggies cost more. So they eat the regular. And then some people have this theory that like they don't buy organic fruits and veggies out of the grocery store because they feel like, how can you trust it? How can you trust them? Is it really organic? Is it really healthier? Now, a lot of the times, some of the organic fruits and veggies look slightly different, but a lot of the times they don't. So I do understand when people say, how do you know that it's truly organic? Unless you know who grew it. How can you say that? So I think the best we can do is just to eat as healthy as we can. Even if you can't afford like organic things, you can still just buy fruit and veggies. You don't have to buy the organic bananas, the organic apples. Buy the regular ones. If the organic is 50 cents more, buy the regular ones. And if you can afford the organic, buy the organic. Just make sure you're trying to, to pick the best options possible. Annie, if you're still here, how much longer do you have? These insects are getting crazy. Now they haven't bothered me much all summer. And I didn't get my skin so soft. I did get my skin so soft last summer, toward the end of summer. But I ended up using it all up. And I got 2 bottles of it. So I wasn't the only one using it, so we used it fairly quickly. So I need more. But I didn't buy more because what I have been doing is, they say insects, mosquitoes and things like that, they don't like eucalyptus and they don't like peppermint. So I just made a bottle of peppermint and a bottle of eucalyptus. I put it in a carrier oil. I use olive oil. And I put about 20 drops in the peppermint bottle and about 20 drops in the eucalyptus bottle. And I've been spraying that on me. And that's been working. It's been working. One day it didn't work that well. And it says, I'm still here. I have one more stop before I get to my car. Oh, okay, I got you. Be safe, Annie. So I use the peppermint oil and olive oil as a carrier oil. And eucalyptus, I put that in the olive oil as well. And y'all, I sprayed it and it worked for like 4 or 5 days. Now, one day out of those, it seemed like it didn't work as well. I don't know if it was because of the area I was in. Maybe a different type of insects that day. But it was cheaper. It was cheaper than buying, Skin So Soft. It was cheaper than buying Off. And today, I put on Off because I still like to have Off in my house. So I was out after work. I went and bought some Off. Y'all, and it seems like that Off, it seems like it's half-stepping. It's not working as good. I don't know what's going on. So I guess I got to go back to the Skin So Soft or back to the peppermint and eucalyptus. I got to go back because that Off. And you hate to put it, you can't put it in your face. And it seems like insects love to come right to your face. Oh my God, I don't know if it's the sweat. I don't know what it is. But when insects bother you, they tend to come straight to your face. I can remember being kids riding their bicycle. You're laughing and talking with your mouth wide open, and gnats trying to fly in your mouth. Those were the good old fun days. Being carefree, waiting to get out of school to go jump on your bike and get to it. You had to get that homework. Some kids didn't. Some kids, when they got home, they went straight to their bikes. And I would be watching them, me and my siblings, we'd be watching them. We'd be trying to do our homework, probably not focusing like we should, looking out the window. So I let my kids, like when it was time to do homework, I didn't let them sit where they could look outside and see other kids out there playing, because that was a distraction. And yes, you'll be on your bicycle and can't nobody tell you nothing. You having a blast, you having a ball. And then next thing you know, pop, something flies right in your mouth. And you're like spitting everywhere, trying to get it out of your mouth. So yeah, we couldn't, we had to do our homework first. Some of the kids in the neighborhood, they just, time they got out of school, I don't know, maybe they didn't have homework that day or something, but it would be the usual characters. Right after school, man, they out there playing, having a blast. And then maybe they did their homework when when it was time for them to go inside. But let me tell you, those days I probably wished I could have been out there playing at that time. But looking back, and even then while I was still in school, I was glad to get the homework done first. Because if you didn't get done in time enough to play that day, then you have to wait till the next day. But if you did get done in time enough to play, it's like you get your homework done, you go out there and play, and when you get done playing, you want to eat, and you want to go to bed. You want to eat, take a shower, and go to bed. Imagine going out there playing, getting dirty. You got to come in, eat, shower, and do homework. To me, it's better to go ahead and get your homework done, even if you didn't get to go outside that day. Most likely you got a chance to play outside at school, so, and even if you didn't, get your homework done, eat, go out there and play, or get your homework done, go outside and play before it gets too dark, come in, eat, shower, and go to bed. Most of the times we ate before we showered because it was probably like, you usually got home after 3 or by 4. We're doing homework by 5. And so like on those days where it got dark early, you had like 30 minutes to go out there and play. And while you're out there playing, parents are fixing your dinner. So you come back in. We kind of did, like, sometimes we'd go ahead and eat. Our little sweaty butts, we would eat. And we had to go straight to the shower and go to bed. And sometimes we shower first, and that gave our parents time to finish up the meal if they didn't finish while we were outside. So we got done taking our showers and baths, and then we'd eat and go to bed. So the good part about getting your homework done first is you get your homework done. Because you get home around 4, like I said, about 5 o'clock you're done. Go out there and play at about 5:30. Come inside, take a shower, take a bath, eat, and go to bed. But if you're out there playing, you're out there playing till 5, at 4 o'clock. Time you get home, you start playing. It's like, you come in, you still got 3 things to do. You gotta eat, you gotta get your homework, and you gotta shower, then go to bed. So yeah, I prefer getting home around 4, get done with the homework about 5:15, 5:30. And if it was later, that meant we ate around 6:15. And sometimes when we get done eating, we're still doing homework. It just depends on your teacher and the grade at the time. Sometimes we didn't have time to play outside after school. So if you didn't have time to play outside, yep, You get home about 4. Our parents would let us take like a 30-minute, just like a breather. You know, no matter as far as playing outside and all that. You had, once we got there about 4 o'clock, we could just watch a TV show, you know, something like that, to like 4:30. Then we start homework. And if you were done quickly, you'd be done about 5 and you can go outside. But if you didn't get done till 5:30 or 6, you didn't go outside. It was time to eat. Then you take your shower and your bath around 8 something. If you still have a little bit of homework that you didn't finish before, you know, eating, you finish that up and you go to bed. So a lot of days you didn't get a chance to just go outside and play. But again, I liked it like that because just imagine getting home at 4. Okay, you taking you a break, just getting settled in from school to 4:30. Then you go outside and you play until like 5:30, and you still haven't done your homework. And that's a bummer. You got to come in, take your shower, eat around 6:15, 6:30, and then you got to do homework till like maybe 8:30, unless it's quick and you know 7:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30. But you got to get that homework in. You got to get that homework in. So I'd rather go ahead and do the homework first. It's just like an extension of school, except you're at home. An extension of school, but you're at home. Instead of your teacher helping you, it's your parents, your grandparents, or your older siblings, or somebody else who's a little bit older helping you. So yeah, I really like that. I like getting home, just dropping the book bag, taking a break to about 4:30. I didn't care what they were doing outside. Some kids, they went straight outside. But just, I guess this is the way our parents trained us, is like not to too much care about going outside. They'd be like, didn't you play at school today? Like, yeah. So sit down and take a break. And at about 4:30, start your homework so you get done around 5. But if you had a lot of homework, then you didn't get to go outside that day. If you got done around 5:15, you got to go outside for like 15, 30 minutes. If you had a lot of homework, you didn't get done till like 6 or 6:30, then you did homework for those 2 hours. You ate, and you got ready for bed. You got ready for bed. Yep, it's homework from 4:30 to 6:30. Eat around 6:30, 7. And if you had a little bit of extra homework, you know, we made it work. You had to make it work back then. You know, we got enough done, and we would try to get the hardest homework out of the way. But it just felt like what you were up to. So if you still had some left about 7, you did that until like 7, from like 7, 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Maybe watch you a little bit of TV, because, you know, there were always certain shows that came on at night that everybody talked about at school, and you were always trying to catch that show. So then it was bedtime. So I preferred it that way. I prefer getting the homework done first, then eating and getting to watch a TV show. And the days that we didn't have much homework, then we went outside. We went outside. But it was some kids, I used to wonder, like, do they ever have homework? Like, do they ever have homework? And some of them didn't, because it just depended on your teacher. Some teachers didn't believe in giving homework. Believe it or not, there are some teachers that didn't always believe in giving homework. So those kids would get out of school, or they would do their homework at school. Some people were good about that, doing their homework at school. Especially the ones who caught on quickly, and the ones who were smart, and the ones who didn't have like a lot. Because even if you caught on quickly and you were smart, if the teacher assigned a lot of homework, especially when you started to go to 4 and 5 different teachers during the day, then I brought my bill home and I did my homework and tried to hurry up. What I could do, I did at school, but I brought it home, did it, so I could go outside for those few minutes, eat, come in, shower and eat, or eat and shower, just depending on how long it took to prepare the meal, watch a TV show and go to bed. Next thing you know, it's time to get up and you do it all over again. You do it all over again. Kind of like we do as adults. But I'm not going to even lie to y'all. It seems like kids have it harder. It seems like kids have it harder. Even if they're not on like a strict pattern. Between from the time they get out of school till their next day back at school, they have to get their homework done. They have to eat. They have to shower. They have to sometimes help their siblings with their homework. And they got to try to fit in some playtime. So that's why we didn't, me and my siblings, we didn't get to go outside and play every day. Because we had to make sure we got those grades. Tried to get those good grades. And when you faltered a little bit, you know what that meant. More time inside trying to figure out what we got to do. Okay? More time inside to figure out what we got to do to pull those grades up. But yeah, a lot of times, yeah, it did vary. Because you would have some families, one kid would be outside and the other kid would be inside. Now sometimes that was just their preference. People are different, siblings are different. But sometimes they were in different grades. One may be in 4th, one may be in 5th or 6th. And the homework was tough for one and it was okay for the other one. So yeah, I think even though they don't have to worry about paying the bills, making the money to pay the bills and stuff like that, a lot of times kids have it harder. I know we as adults, we say we have it harder, and we do feel like we do, because we got to make sure that they're on top of their game, they're doing the things that they're supposed to do. But just to think about it, a kid, you're learning the world, you're very naive, some are mature for their ages, but they have to handle that responsibility of homework, trying to enjoy themselves. Kids like to have fun, doing their chores, getting to bed on time. And I know a lot of kids didn't get the proper sleep when I was growing up. They still don't. And that's a big thing too, why some teachers didn't believe in homework. Because some parents would be like, hey, can you ease up? Because he is up all night. And no, he's not outside all evening at home. I give him a break and let him go outside for 20, 30 minutes. But this homework is too much. So kids can have it just as hard as we do. They're trying to live up to the expectations of their parents, their teachers, their peers. Some of them get bullied at school. Some of them have thriving, good relationships and they never get bullied, but a lot of kids do get bullied. And some of those kids, some of them get bullied at home. So, yeah, kids can have it a lot harder than we do. They can have it a lot harder than we do. So, we have to think about that. A lot of things I didn't think about until afterwards. When you look back and you talk about things, it's like hindsight is 20/20. So you look back and you talk about things and you're like, wow, if I had thought about that when I was raising my little kids, I would have done this differently. I would have done that differently. And that's why so many people, are so much better when it comes to their grandkids. Because when they raise their kids, yeah, you gotta let your kids raise their children. But being grandparents, there are often times when you can look back and say hindsight is 20/20. And don't take over, but help your kids as much as you can. Well, hey, this is where I went wrong with you. And your kids may be saying the same thing. Well, you didn't, yeah, I agree, you didn't do this the way I wanted you to, or I think this could have been better. But still, let them do it. Let them implement it. And when you can, help without taking over. Help without taking over. Because believe it or not, though your kids don't want you to take over, they are glad to know that maybe you learned from the mistakes that you made raising them. So they like it from that perspective, but also don't take over. Let them know, hey, you remember you told me you didn't like it when I did this. I wish I hadn't have done it. And the first thing a lot of kids will say, adult kids will say, well, I'm raising them. Let me do it, mama. Let me do it, daddy. Just let them just say, okay. But just be that reminder that remember You didn't like it, so we got a chance to get it a little bit better with this generation. And that's what generations are about. That's what family is all about. That's why it's good, those generations of 2, 3, 4, 5 generations, you should be able to look at each one and see where you got it better or where things were better. Now, sometimes generation 4 may be worse than what generation 5 had or 3 worse than what 4 had. But generation 2 should be to a point where things were better for them, and they can hopefully make things better for the current generation. The current generation. So that's what it's about. Generational wealth is one thing, but generational growth, as far as your family goes, that's another whole type of generational wealth. That's another whole type of generational wealth. You want to be able to provide generational wealth from a mental standpoint. Where you saw that you did wrong, let your kids know. Acknowledge it. And they'll be more receptive to you helping them raise their kids. Again, they won't let you take over, but they'll be more receptive to the information. You know how most of us say, we learned this from mama, we learned this from granny, we learned this from great granny, granny learned it from great great granny. So, and on top of all of that, on top of getting that generational wealth of knowledge from the older generations, be receptive of the younger generation and the knowledge that they offer. Okay? Don't just think that that's because that was the way you were raised, that's the way they have to be raised. Don't shut out the opportunity for change and growth. Don't shut out the opportunity for change and growth. It has gotten darker earlier. Usually, yep, it has gotten darker earlier. It a lot of times, it's a little bit of light out here. 9:25 Eastern time. I think it was 8:25 Central. What's Mountain? 7. And Pacific is what? 6. So on the East Coast, it's usually still a little bit of light outside at 9:30 in the eastern states. So it is getting darker a little bit earlier. And the good thing about it is that lately it's been cooler. It has been cooler. I know that most of the country has been under a heat advisory. Most states have been under a heat advisory. I won't say most, I'll say many. Many doesn't necessarily mean most. I'll say many states have been under a heat advisory. So, if you've been under a heat advisory, continue to stay safe. But for those of you who are getting a break right now, enjoy that break. Enjoy that break. It's been cooler, a little bit cooler during the day, but a lot cooler during the evenings, the early night hours. So enjoy this cool spell that we are having, because when August comes, oh my goodness, August, I don't even know why people still have the debate whether July or August is the hottest. The only reason I feel like July feels like it's the hottest is because that's the introduction to the heat. June is hot. June was hot this year. June is a hot month. You're spring, about to become summer. So June is hot, but July is that heat. It's that heat hits you. That heat hits you. But August, that heat hits you and it'll pull you up, down, drag. It'll do, August does what it wants to you. August heat is no joke. So I've learned not to even debate people about whether July or August is the hottest. I've lived up north, I've lived down south, I've lived east and west. August heat is the hottest. It's the hottest. The July heat, I feel like, I might be wrong, but I've had some people to tell me that, yeah, to them it feels like it's the worst because that's that month where it really hits you. But they even say, some of them even say, but August ain't no joke. August ain't no joke. So I don't even have that debate anymore because from the most people I talk to, they're like, yeah, August is worse. Not every year though. It doesn't have to be that way every year. Some years July might be the hottest. Some years August will be the hottest. But if you look at the record books, most times August is going to be that month that the heat did not play. Now you'll have some books, certain years, June may have been hotter than both of them. But I don't even get into that debate anymore because you can usually find some reference material saying, hey, usually August is the hottest month of the year. In the States. And I believe it. I think July is just that shocker. July is that shock factor. It hits you. July, it hits you. So it makes you feel like, I can see it making people feel like this is the hottest month. This is the hottest month ever. And then by August, they've gotten used to it. So they don't really see August as being the hottest because they've gotten used to it. After they've gotten that big hit from July, they've gotten used to that heat by August. But I pay close attention because I lived in different places and it seems like August always trumps July. And it is the hottest month to me. Guys, make sure that your pets are hydrated. Okay? Your plants even, especially your indoor and outdoor. Well, I was going to say especially your indoor, but your indoor and your outdoor plants. The elderly, people that you know, your family, your grandmothers, your aunties, your neighbors. Make sure. I don't know if she got a little music, y'all. I thought I was going to have to mute, but hopefully not. Hopefully not. It's not too bad, YouTube. It's not too bad. So yes, of course, stay hydrated. If you have any type of fluid restriction, consult your primary care provider, your doctor, your nurse practitioner, your physician's assistant. Okay? Consult them and see if it's any way possible that your fluid restrictions can be adjusted. If he says yes, then yay. If he says no, then do as you've been instructed. Continue to do what he's been telling you. Just let him know. He knows. They know how hot it is. Make sure you get your exercise in. I'm going to tell you what I haven't told you yet during this live. Look at the legs move. Watch the legs move. Move your legs. Keep them moving. Move those legs. Work your body. Make sure you don't hurt your body. Move those legs consistently. 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes, 5 days a week for a total of 150 minutes per week. But you can, if you would like, move them for 210 minutes, okay? You can do your cardio 7 days a week. Give yourself a break with your resistance and your weight training, of course. Your abdominal muscles, it's up to you. 500 to 1,000 for me. A day is good. Sometimes it's back to back, day after day. Some people, they take a break with the abdominals, just like they do with the other muscle groups when they're weight training, resistance training. Because when you're doing your abdominals, you're on your backside, okay? That tailbone, okay? That tailbone. And so Some professionals don't think it's any need to, risk injury by doing your crunches every day. But some people, hey, they adjust. They put something back there, something that's medically approved to be back there. They sit on it and they do their crunches every day. Every day. You give your muscles a break when you do upper and lower body, but those crunches, you can do those every day. Like I said, the only reason some people don't is because if you do them every day, why increase that risk of injury? So I understand that. But before you do any of that, as we always say, as we have said over a year, contact, consult, talk to your healthcare provider and his staff. If he's not there, he has a CRNP, he has a PA, a physician's assistant, a certified registered nurse practitioner. Talk with your nutritionist, because over half of it is your diet. Your diet. So many people, they sit there, they do those crunches, but they aren't hitting that target heart rate, which is what helps them to lose those calories. Okay? That target heart rate, when you exercise, when you put your cardiovascular activity you keep it within that range, that's when you start to burn those calories. Muscle burns more fat. Okay? Muscle burns more calories than fat. Muscle burns more than fat. So remember that. It's not that the muscle itself is gonna make all your fat go away. But guess what? Muscle burns more calories than fat will burn any day. So the more muscle you have, the more toned you are, what's going to happen? The more calories you will burn. The more calories you will burn. So remember, you aren't Hercules, okay? Do the things that you can do, okay? It's just like a firefighter. He's not a doctor, right? He may have a lot of medical knowledge, and you can learn a lot from him, but unless he's gone to school to be a doctor. But just generally speaking, he's not a doctor. A police officer, he may teach law enforcement, but he can't teach your kids in school. He can't teach your kids English, math, reading, writing, and all that stuff, right? So stay within, just like with spending money, when you're exercising, stay within your means. Stay within your means. Work your body. Make sure you don't hurt your body. We want to remember radar. You start with R, you end with R. When you're exercising, you start with stretching, you end with stretching. Okay? You warm up, you work out, you cool down. But on both ends, you do what? You stretch. You stretch. The dynamic stretching is the one that really gets you ready for exercise. For years, people have done static stretching, and there's nothing wrong with static stretching. That's okay. But the static stretching is better suited for your cool down. Once you're done, do those static stretches. Okay? And there are so many things we can do. Remember, when you get bored or when you plateau, you don't just have to walk like everybody and their mama's walking. You can skip, you can jog, you can jump rope, you can run, you can skate, you can dance, you can walk around the room in your house, you can walk around the outside of your house. Okay? You can ride your bicycle around the neighborhood. You can ride your stationary bike. You can get on your treadmill. You can do your elliptical. I give 12 to 14 things daily of what we can do once we become bored or once we feel like we've hit a plateau. Okay? Because most people on here are working out for fitness. Fitness. If you're working out to lose weight, you're going to have to get a little bit deeper. If you're working out to lose weight, you're going to have to get a little bit deeper. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to fitness. It all boils down to fitness. You want to burn those calories? Learn what that maximum heart rate is for your age. Once you get that maximum heart rate, meaning that your heart should not go above that rate, then figure out your target heart rate. You figure your target heart rate, it will be a range. And that is the range that you need to be in if you want your body to burn calories. That is the range that you want your body to be in if you want to burn calories. So on that note, I'm about to get out of here. Thank you guys for the ones who came into the chat. Tamika Davis, Annie. I've so enjoyed having Annie back into the chat. I love having my original day ones back in this chat. Thank you so much, James Money 615, an original day one. Thank you so much. TJ Films came in and shared a little bit about what was going on with him. Thank him for coming into the chat. Thank you, Annie and Vanessa, for saying encouraging words to TJ. I appreciate it. Healing Ann came into the chat and said hello. So I thank each and every one of you guys. And as I often say, I appreciate you. I appreciate YouTube. Okay? We fuss sometimes, but some people fuss too much about YouTube. This is their platform. They afford us this platform to have to utilize and speak. And as long as we stay within the guidelines, hey, we got to do it the way they say do it. So we got to appreciate them too. A lot of people who fuss the most, they do what? They come right back. They're here all the time. So just appreciate it for what it's for. Because if they shut it down, it'll be a lot of poked out mouths around here. It'll be a lot of poked out mouths around here. There's one platform that is kind of tinkering on, in the States anyway. We don't really know what's going to happen with it. I won't say it by name because I know most people who hear this will know the one I'm talking about. But we have a whole government who is really against that platform for some reason right now. Okay? So appreciate the platforms that you do have at your disposal. Okay? Don't you guys let bother people bother you. Don't let stress people stress you out. Okay? Don't let these stress people stress you out, and don't let these bother people bother you. Because the ones who bother you, guess what? They're bothered by you. They're bothered by you. Some of them want to emulate you. Some of them really do like you, but they hate you because they like you. So don't allow it. And if you find yourself in a misery lounge, the person who's hosting that lounge may not be miserable, but their job is to make you miserable. GYGAG. Grab your grip and go. Don't let them. Okay? And I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk Live. Thank you guys. And if you catch this replay, leave some topics in the comments. Better yet, instead of leaving a potential topic, let us know how your week is going. Let us know how your week is going. Okay? And I will see you guys. This is so peaceful. So peaceful to know that people aren't trying to drag you down. This feels so peaceful. Bye, y'all.